Hello, this video will show you how to create a project using the principles of design, and we will be using Google Drawings for it. So the first thing that you need to do is get into a Google Drawing page, and if you are logged into your school's account, Google Schools account, all you need to do is Google Drawings. Select it and you should be on a page. There you go. You're going to rename it and title it Principles of Design, or just POD dash and your name. The first thing that we'll be doing with it is using a couple of lines to create guides, and you can delete those guides as soon as your design is done. So we'll select line, and we're going to draw a line in the center vertically and another line on the center horizontal. So draw the line to the best of your abilities, and once you have it drawn, go to your selection tool, which is this one, and just make sure that it's a line once you have it in there. If you move it around, it should show a red guide once you have it in the middle, in the center. So you're gonna do the same thing with another one. So first thing is just eyeball it, and then you can fix it up. Unfortunately for us, Google Drawings does not come with guides, so we're creating our own guides with these lines. So just move it around, and oh, it's not showing because we don't have it straight. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just kind of like has to be more or less what we need. Okay, so we have our guides, and like I said, we have created them ourselves, and when you're done with your design, you can delete them. Again, they do not have to be perfect as long as they serve the purpose to guide our design. So what you will be doing is, since this project is supposed to be done after you have seen the presentation for Principles of Design. So the first thing that we want to do is to make sure that we have a few things. So we need at least, you're going to create a project with your name. You're gonna need your name and your last name. So two items in there: your name, your last name. You're going to use at least 3 types of fonts. If for the purposes of these, for the purposes of Google Drawings, or Google Drawings calls fonts, but they're not supposed to be fonts. Graphic designers call them typefaces, but we'll keep calling them fonts right now. Okay, so you need at least 3 types of fonts. And you have the text box right here to create them. I'll show you how to kind of like play a little bit with that. And then you're gonna need at least, well, at the most, 2 different colors. You cannot use more than 2 different colors, so don't worry about the color until your design is ready. But just so that you know, no more than 2 colors. You select the colors if you even want color. You can do everything in black, or you can do 2 colors plus black, or even use white to play with your design. Okay, so you're ready to start. So this is my design, and I am using my name Nora and my last name Rivera, and so it is an example on how to use the different, or how to balance your design, how to use a correct balance, emphasis, and unity. But again, this is just an example. You can do something different than this. So in my design, I'm going to draw a big N on the upper left side. So I'm going to draw a big box, and I'm going to type N. Something that a lot of people don't do and designers love to do is to use boxes, text boxes for only for each letter. You have a lot more freedom to do things with it if you put one letter in one box. You don't have to do that all the time. You're gonna notice that in my design I do it different ways. So I'm gonna use one box for N only because my end is going to be my emphasis. So, and I'm going to give it a size of let's do 150 for now. Let's see how that looks. And I'm going to use, instead of Arial, I'm going to use this font or typeface, Impact, because I want something thick. So 150, I want a box more or less, or the letter more or less about the same size of that box. So I'm going to go higher than 150. If I go with the arrows, it only goes up to 96. So I just have to type in the size I want. So I'm gonna try 230. Okay, 230 seems okay to me. And now all I need to do is just move the box. And don't worry too much about your box, like your letters coming out of your box. That's fine. Okay, just arrange the box the way you want it, or the letter the way you want it. So in my case, I am using the lines that I created kind of like to guide me. If I select, remember that this is your selection tool. If I select my letter and use the arrows on my keyboard, that sometimes helps when you're moving things around. So then I'm going to use another text box for my O, and my O is going to be, remember that I want some sort of balanced design. So my O, I'm going to use my O right here. And I'm using all capital letters also. And for my O, I want a different type of, a different font. So I'm going to use Ultra because I want a thick, big O that more or less has that, the size of that box. So I'm going to go with maybe 100 points. Yeah, that seems about right. Maybe 120. 120 is perfectly fine for me. So I'm gonna go and fix my box. You know how the box does something weird? Don't worry, just ignore the box and just move your letters around. Okay, so my letter right there. Now I need another text box for. I actually want this O a little bigger. No, that's fine. Okay, so I want another box right here for my R. And my R is going to have a different font. I'm going to use Oswald. And I'm going to use Oswald normal. And the size, 130, 120 maybe. Okay, I'm going to leave it at 120. And you see what I'm trying to do now? And I want my A for Nora also to look almost identical to my R. So all I need to do is copy and paste. And move it around. Just make sure it's aligned. So I have Nora on the top. And now I'm going to add another box for Rivera. And I want Rivera on the bottom. And I can do Rivera in all lower cases or capitalize the R. You know, I can just get creative with this. For this one, I am going to use a type font called Lobster. If you don't see these typefaces in here, You can always go to more fonts and it gives them to you right here. Okay, you get a lot more of a variety if you go to more fonts. Okay, so that's where I got some of these from. So I have lobster, and now I want lobster in maybe 100 points. That goes over my box. So I'm gonna try a 90. 90 fits perfectly fine for what I want. And now all I need to do is just arrange it. Because remember, I want something that is going to look balanced. So it's looking balanced. Now it looks like I have an empty space right here, because remember that balance you're supposed to, well, I am doing a symmetrical balance, more or less. Yours doesn't have to be symmetrical, but mine is kind of like symmetrical. So I want more or less the same space that I'm using over here. I want to use more or less the same space on the bottom. So I only have Rivera, and I have too much white space underneath Rivera. So I'm going to take advantage of the lines that I have in here and use a scribble to create some sort of border in here. And I'm not very good at this, but I can just type in or draw something like that. So I'm sure you can draw something even better than that. So I wanted way thicker than this, so I'm going to go for 8 points. And I might even, no, I like it like that. So all I need is to just use another one for my left side. So I'm going to copy and paste. And then drag it to, I'm going to drag it to the left side, but you see that I need to rearrange it. So I'm going to go arrange, rotate, flip horizontally. So now it looks better. And now what I need to do is align it to the one on the right. And you see how I needed to move it a little bit. And more or less it looks good. Now I want to add a little bit of some sort of like a flower looking shape right here on the bottom. So I can do that in different ways. You can actually use shapes. Hold on, let me just arrange this a little bit more. No, it's too close. There you go. Okay. So you can actually use shapes to form some sort of flower, and or you can use one already pre-made, something already pre-made for you. But I prefer to make things from scratch. So I'm gonna do kind of like an oval right here, more or less an oval. Okay, it's not perfect, but and then I'm going to, I do not want that blue field color in there, so I just want the black one. And now I'm going to copy it 2 more times. Oh, before I copy it, I'm going to make that border thick. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to fill it up with black. Now I can copy it. So I copied it 2 more times. And all I need to do, it's kind of like, ooh, I did something that I did not intend to do. I don't want to make it bigger, I want to move it. So I want that cross, black cross, to move it. So I move it and then I rotate it. And I do the same thing over here. Oh, it doesn't look too close. Well, let's see. Let's see what's coming up. So again, I'm looking for that cross. And rotate it. I need to rotate this one more. Rotate this one more. Mhm. So I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. There you go. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks fine to me. So some of the things that you can do is, oops, I moved it too much. Some of the things that you can do is group it. Group your, oh, there you go. That looks perfect to me. So I want to group all these three shapes that I did. So to select several, all you need to do is click on the Shift button. So you select the first ones, hold on to Shift, select the other ones that you want to select. You can do right click and then group. And now that it is one shape and I can move it. There you go. So now my design looks a lot better. So now I can add some color to it. So I said no more than 2 colors. So I only want to work with 1 color for emphasis. And I'm going to select my N and give it a nice dark purple color to my N. So there's my design. And you can remove your lines because they look a little awkward. And there's my design. Okay, so have fun and let's see what you can do.